all young, thinking they can take on the world.
Yeah.
The life's going to be different for them. That they're not going to have to deal with the bullshit that their old man and old lady had to deal with. But
You don't
soon
understand, Dad.
they're going to be taken down.
I learned it from
Yep, they're going
you.
to be taken down a peg. And then they're going to have to do like a 30-minute art challenge. Maybe it's 20. I forget. And one of them will be crowned the best artist in the world ever. And that's what I have to say.
And that's roughly it. We also encourage you, the viewer at home. We're all at home, but those of you who are not on the stream right now, who may be in the chat on Twitch, what up, chat? Or just watching, grab your art supplies. Literally anything you could consider art supplies. This could be, name some art supplies, Ethan. We've got pens,
Lamb blood, a goat
lamb's
blood,
goat
ram
blood, any am blood. Make it on Photoshop. What else could you make art with, Mark? Dirt.
Oh, I made art with toenail clippings a couple of weeks ago.
Toenail clippings, glue,
seawater,
Legos,
grubs, Malcolm Jamal Warner fan fiction. Cut that up. Collage it. Compost.
Grab any art supplies and do the challenge along with the contestants, and then at the end of the 20 minutes, email us your pictures of your art at fartsmackdown@gmail.com. That's fartsmackdown with an F because Art Smackdown was already taken, and if the judge deems you worthy, you could be on the stream next week. Or if you would prefer not to be on the stream next week, but you'd like to show off your art, do that. Or if you'd prefer not to use email, just do the challenge along with us and have the self-satisfaction of finally doing that art you've been meaning to do in quarantine.
Yeah, that they said you couldn't do.
Right. But you can. I don't know why they've been telling you that. You can do anything you want.
Yeah, anything you set your mind to.
So you can actually, we're going to do a little warm-up challenge here for the contestants, but you should do this too, and then email us at fartsmackdown@gmail.com, pictures of your art. So this is for the contestants who you're about to meet, and the guest judge too. You can do it along if you like. You have 30 seconds to show us what you were doing yesterday. Go. Ethan, what were you doing about this time yesterday? Oh, show us exactly what you were doing at this time.
This time yesterday?
10:20 p.m. Eastern time.
Let's see. I was hanging out with Silent Squee, Andrew Alcatraz. Who else? April 5000. I don't really play video games. We were making a crossword puzzle over at Old Man in the Basement for my dad to solve.
And time is up.
Hey, all right. Great. So art supplies down. And let's meet this week's contestants. Remember, email us your art at fartsmackdown@gmail.com. So, who do we got here? Last week's best artist in the world, the reigning best artist in the world. Please welcome back to the stream the very funny, the very frivolous, the very fruitful Gary Denoyer.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hey, Gary.
Very well, thank you.
Good.
Totally fruitful.
Yeah. So, show us what you're working with.
All right. So, yesterday, I was watching Cobra Kai, and that's me sitting on my couch with my legs up. Apparently, the couch has no back on it. And I'm watching somebody kick with one leg kick another person in the face.
I see. That's great.
Do you have antenna on your head? Is that what
That's
is?
my
that's your man.
That's my man bun. Yeah.
Delightful.
And what up, twin?
I thought you were watching televised Hangman.
You know what? Maybe that can be another program that you guys spin off and do that. Could be cool.
That's not a bad idea.
I thought you were watching pornography and it was a one-legged man with an enormous penis.
Yes, and maybe Quentin Tarantino is watching porn because he likes feet.
You were watching Quentin Tarantino watch some amputee porn.
Everyone has their thing, you know.
Yeah, this is don't slut shame, kink shame. Don't.
Hey man, everyone's got a hobby.
Yep.
I just wanted to see how long we could sit in that silence because that was enjoyable for me. Was it enjoyable for you?
I thought it was great.
I had a terrific
I prefer
time.
when people don't talk and we just connect.
Gary, do you have any smack you'd like to talk before we get this show on the road?
Yeah, sure. So, earlier today, I was like to quote the underrated Chris Farley and David Spade movie Black Sheep. I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I had a Reese's peanut butter cup. Now I'm feeling confident. I think my unique method of drawing gives me a leg up over maybe my more talented competitors, but my heart and my spirit will prevail.
A leg up, no pun intended, kick to the face.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to who wants it more.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about every single competition, and I identify it as so.
Well, I want it.
Well, we'll see if you get it. We'll talk to you in a second, Gary.
Cool, thank you.
Please now welcome back to the Smackdown, Art Smackdown, an Art Smackdown stalwart. I mean, this person is here. I feel like every other week. She is a consummately prolific artist. Wouldn't you say so?
Oh yeah, there's not a moment she's not prolific.
Yeah,
always proliferating.
Please welcome back April 5K. April 5K, what up?
What up? Hi.
Hey, how's Texas?
Hello. Yeah, I'm very excited to be back. Yes, I love doing this. So you want to see what I did in 30 seconds? Ethan was right. I was getting in there.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Love it, Bert.
Boy, that's great.
Nice.
My dad's name is Bert, guys, and yeah, it's a national pastime to watch him solve a crossword puzzle. You know how it is.
Ethan, your
it's
father
one of the most wholesome activities. And I love it.
It's really, really enjoyable. And your father is incredibly intelligent and great at crossword puzzles. It's just so fun to hear him talk.
Yeah, it's sort of the perfect frame for him. There was no, I wish I had thought it out. I wish I could say, I just was like, hey, do you want to do this? Because he likes crosswords. But it really is the perfect vehicle for him. As Andrew Alcatraz says, Bert murders them puzzles.
He does.
Bert the murderer. Bert the Purzler murderer. April, thank you so much for coming back on the show, and thank you so much for chilling with Ethan and his dad. I love Let's Make a Crossword Puzzle. It's such a fun show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Me too.
April, we'll see you in a little bit.
I'll see you in a little while.
There you go. I was wondering what you were drinking.
Miller Lite.
Yep. The classic drink of April 5K that goes well with cat butt.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see your cat if you're outside.
Yeah, is that an outdoor cat or an indoor cat? Come back.
Probably not. Coyotes and whatnot.
Yeah.
She's a Chromebook. She can't unmute. Indoor cat.
All right. It is said. An indoor cat. It is settled.
Indoor cat. Got it. All right. Well,
indoor cat.
At some point, take us inside and show us that cat butt. Now, please welcome to the stream for the very first time our upstart contender for this week, the very talented and the owner of a club in New York that features some incredibly talented performers and artists. I've performed there. Please welcome the owner of the QED space in Astoria, Cambry Cruz. Cambry.
Hello, hello, hi, welcome me to this great thing. I'm excited to be here. Thanks, Micah, for asking me.
Totally my pleasure. And so we've already had questions about your sweater. It is not specifically the more
Oh.
you know.
Yeah, I did not think that was it, but yeah, now it's not an arch. We've decided that the arch would have made it the more you know. So this is just like,
You know. It's not the more you know, it's just
you know.
You know.
All right, Cambry, let's take a look at what you were doing last night at 10:20 p.m.
Sleeping in the woods. I don't. Yeah, I'm not very.
In the woods?
Yeah, well, those are trees. Yeah, I ran out of time, and that's my bed.
Did a beaver make that bed?
It's actually, the headboard is a picket fence that I found in Queens. In Queens of all places. You don't think of Queens as being a picket fence country, but I did find a picket fence there, and I turned it into a headboard. So
that's awesome.
In Queens, when you have a picket fence, somebody just steals it and makes it into a bed.
Yeah. It was with the trash. It was with the trash. I'm pretty confident, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't leave anything on the curb if you don't want. Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, they have all those fire hydrants on the curb, and I'm like, mine now, motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel that way about the curb.
When I
the
lived
wainscoting in my home is street curb.
When I lived in Queens, there were a lot of toilets on the curb. I always found. Do they still have that? Where it was just like people. I don't know if there was some renovation, and I just.
Yeah. Kitchen cabinets mostly, couches, cabinets, mattresses. Yeah. Those are the top three, I'd say. Toilets, very rare occurrence. I'm not sure that I see too many toilets.
I lived there in the golden age.
Yeah, well, honestly, if you're putting a toilet out on the curb, you're just inviting someone to shit in it, and so yeah.
Yeah.
Officer, there was a toilet on the curb. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta go somewhere.
Yeah.
They don't have. Starbucks is closed now. Pandemic. Can't use public toilets. Yeah, that would be a disaster.
All right. Well, Cambry, are you ready for your 20-minute masterpiece challenge?
Well, considering I just started painting, yeah, sure.
Nice. Yeah. So how long have you been painting watercolor?
About a year. A year all told, maybe a couple of months, honestly, because I would paint for a couple of weeks, teaching myself on YouTube, and then I'd take a few weeks off or a couple months off. And I just started again after when the pandemic happened. I stopped, which is when I should have been painting the most, but I stopped. And so, yeah, I just started a couple of weeks ago. So here I am. Micah, you saw my masterwork on Facebook. You thought I was so talented. You asked me here, and I'm here to disappoint you.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be disappointed. We've had a request to see your piece of art one more time.
Oh, God. Yeah, my quote unquote.
Your bed with trees. Now, why the trees? Are you in the woods?
Oh, yeah, I'm in the Catskills.
Oh, nice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I would have drawn mountains behind it. You know where Woodstock took place? Not the town Woodstock, where the actual concert Woodstock took place.
Yeah, Bethel Woods.
Yeah, I'm right down the street from there. I was just at Bethel yesterday. Huh? Say that
right
again?
now?
Yeah, because QED is closed for the pandemic. We're a performing arts space, so we're not allowed to be open. And I gave up my apartment in Queens after 15 years in the same apartment. Yeah, we had already given our notice before the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, we're like, we've been there 15 years. Surely they'll work with us. No, actually. They're like, no, actually, get out. So we had to get out in the middle of a pandemic.
Oh,
well, they're lost.
Yeah. So yeah, we're in the Catskills.
Cool. Much better place to be right now.
Yeah, I'm at QED. I go every week to fulfill orders. We were having outdoor shows for a while, and then the governor and the state liquor authority put a stop to that. So now I'm just going up to fulfill book orders and things like that. But enough about that. Let's get on to the art.
All right, sounds good.
I'm ready. My
All
beret.
right.
I forgot my beret.
Well, in honor of our guest celebrity judge's upcoming mixtape, Brooklyn Petting Zoo, we would like for you, in 20 minutes, to create a portrait of your favorite Brooklyn rapper.
Huh?
A portrait of your favorite Brooklyn rapper. Your favorite rapper from Brooklyn.
My husband is laughing hysterically from the other room because he knows that I can't do a portrait. And rapper? What? I know.
Well, tell your husband to be of use and get on the fucking Google box.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh,
when I think
well,
of some of my favorites, I would think of Jay-Z, Lil Kim, MC Light.
Here we go.
Maybe Big Daddy Kane.
yeah, I'm
Hot Shot,
literally going to have.
Old Dirty Bastard, R.I.P. Fabulous, Master Ace, Sticky Fingers, Killer Priest, J Master J, R.I.P. You know, any of those guys.
Okay. Listen, I was about to say, Ethan, man, you are blowing my mind. You were just reading Wikipedia.
Yeah, I mean Uncle Murder, LP, of course.
All right.
Run the.
All right. Well, let me introduce our guest judge tonight, because he is someone who does know quite a bit about rapping and does know quite a bit about being from Brooklyn. You may know him from his one-man show, What Should Be the Fear, based on his nationwide Shakespearean bicycle tour, and his hip-hop records, Trying to Get My Life Together, and Everyone Dies from a Bullet, Volume 1. Please welcome Ralph Jean-Pierre, a.k.a. Precious Gorgeous.
Woo!
Ralph.
Wow. What an intro.
What's going on, man?
Right.
How you doing?
Am I happy?
You're on.
Huh?
You're
I
doing
don't know
it.
what's.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing it right now. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Doing it
you're
too.
live
Imagine
on
if it also
CNN,
took,
buddy.
imagine if it also took like a physical exertion to broadcast. Like you had to will it out of you to broadcast through the internet. Yeah. That's all I got.
Oh, I just
I mean,
want to say also Biggie.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah.
Biggie.
Yeah.
One I just learned, I think, in the last year, Nas. Nas was born
Oh yeah,
in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I had no
Yes.
idea. I always thought he was from the Bronx.
that is true.
No, he claims Queens. That's what he's always associated with, is Queens, but he was born in Brooklyn. Some other secret Brooklyn births that people don't know about: Michael Jordan
Mm-hmm.
and,
Bed-Stuy.
and Eddie Murphy.
No
secret,
kidding.
secret Brooklyn boys. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was from Washington Heights.
There in Mount Vernon, I think he lived for a while, but he was born in Brooklyn. Who was not born in Brooklyn? Spike Lee and Chris Rock.
Well, who was representing Queens but raised out in Brooklyn?
That's LL Cool J.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or no,
LL
the girl he's rapping about in the song reps Queens, but was raised out in Brooklyn.
Where's LL Cool J from?
He's from Queens.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
Why don't we get things started and give these artists some inspiration? Why don't you tell us who some of your favorite Brooklyn rappers are and why?
God, I mean, if I got to go pure, who's purely my favorite? I mean, obviously there's Jay-Z, obviously there's Mos Def. But if I'm going who's truly my favorite Brooklyn rapper, I'm going ODB. I'm going the great ODB. I love the Old Dirty Bastard. I love him.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, what encapsulates the whole thing, like, first of all, there's the Wu-Tang is for the children, which I memorized that speech once to do something I did called Thug Talks, where I would memorize like famous motivational speeches from Black celebrities, and I would reenact them. So he starts that speech. He goes, "Everybody, please calm down. Calm down. It's nice that I went and had brought it a suit that had costed me a lot of money today. So that whole piece of American history is beautiful, right? But I also love, to me, the moment I kind of always wrote him off, and I realized when I heard, I think it was Shimmy Shimmy Y'all, he's like, what is it? Hold on. Oh, I gotta Google the line. He said something. Uh, Hold
I
on.
think
I'm
the
gonna
line
find the
is
line.
shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Is that the line you're looking for?
No, my hip hop drops on your head like rain. He doesn't say it drops on your head like rain. He said it drops on your head like rain. Oh my god!
Hey, I got a question for you.
Like
Do you think
I,
Biggie
I'm
will?
a, yeah.
You think Biggie will ever get a statue outside of the Barclays Arena, or do you think he deserves a statue outside the Barclays?
That would be beautiful. I don't know, for a couple reasons. For some reason, I assume that Jay-Z would have to be the would have to spearhead that initiative, and I think I don't even know if he still owns a piece of the Barclays anymore. If he does, it's like a very small percentage.
Even when he got all even when he was getting all of that news about being an owner of the Nets, he was still like a super small percentage owner of the Nets. Like he was never a major owner. And I think now, if he is still at all, it's minuscule.
You got to diversify your portfolio at some point. It can't be all Nets.
Nothing but Nets. No
nothing
good.
but Nets. Yeah, that's not a good financial advisor.
Yeah, right. What if there's a shortage of nylon?
Yeah.
So, Ralph, you did something that blew my mind. Actually, before we touch on that, when we're talking portraits of hip hop artists, what's necessary in that? What are some necessary elements that go into a good portrait? How do you make a portrait hip hop?
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, that question exploded in my mind kaleidoscopically, and I mean the first thing I would say, the two, because I'm torn, because the thing I love most about rappers and about any artist is that whatever piece you see from them, you kind of learn more about the artist, as much about the artist as you do about the subject. And so I really want to see the artist's personality and their perspective on the subject when they in the piece. But I also feel like, yeah, when I look at that portrait, I want to feel more than like an accurate likeness, which is also really great. I love the technical skill that requires. I want to feel that person's that rapper's attitude and their style of rapping somehow reflected in the art. I want to feel that.
So, like, if someone's doing Jay-Z, there's probably going to be like a lot of dollar signs around, maybe a diversified portfolio, maybe
more. You know what? More like abstract than that. I don't know if you ever. I'm going super a long way around on this, but I remember listening to this podcast once. Jimmy Carrane's Improv Nerd podcast. He had this guy on there named Mikowski. Something Mikowski.
Old man Mikowski.
Craig
What's
Kikowski.
That? Old man Mikowski? Yeah.
Old man Mikowski lived at the end of the block. You didn't want to get your ball over his fence. It was gone.
Charles Bukowski.
No, I think you're thinking of Craig Kikowski.
No, different one. A Mikowski. Somebody, he works at some theater over in the
There's
LA.
no name Mikowski.
And he trained with Dell.
Mikowski?
Mikowski, something. Michowski, something.
Jagdowski?
No. Not any of those. Not any of those. This guy's name is
Scottish Polish name. Mikowski.
Are you thinking about
like that?
You're thinking about jet skis?
No.
There's a lot of jet skis doing
I think
it,
it's Jeff Mikowski.
Kawasaki jet ski?
I believe it's Jeff Mikowski.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Jeff Mikowski. Anyway, so he said this he said this. I forget what is a certain theater he works at over there. I don't remember. West Side Comedy. He works at West Side Comedy. Anyway, so he was saying how I think when he learned improv, the first word that anybody would say, I'm forgetting why I'm even telling this story, but the first word that anybody would say, let's say you were like, it's raining outside, then he would either in his mind or verbally in the scene break it down. It's raining. Something's coming down on you. It's wet. You're damp. You're soaked. You're soaked to the skin. You're soaked to, you know what I mean? He would like break down the suggestion and therefore also the themes of the scene that's coming down on you. You're at a family reunion. Everybody's coming down on you. It's your fault. You know what I mean? He would break everything down inside the scene based on the first thing the other person said. And I love that approach. Something about that approach is like magical and like kind of even celestial to me. And so for me, I would like, if you did a portrait of Jay-Z, that's what I was coming back around to. Like, I would like to see, sort of feel everything you feel about Jay-Z in that. It should be like either whatever you think of him. If you think of him as dominant, if you think of him as smooth, if you think of him as sharp or cunning, if you think of him as aspirational, if you think of him as whatever that is, it should feel that way. And I should feel that energy coming through your lines of your.
Oh, so there'd be like butter and knives and hammers and stuff.
Guys, it is time to compromise your
Oh,
art.
no.
All right. Well, let's.
All right.
We got a wheel of compromise
Compromise.
here.
The wheel of compromise.
Yeah, I forget where we're putting this. This goes right over Ralph's face.
It goes right here. I'm putting it right over here now. It's over here now.
Uh,
All right. Hey, it's Wheel, America's game. Okay. And here we go.
all right. We got to
Spin.
click
Have
it.
it set in
Look at that wheel
Queens.
go.
Have it set in Queens. Come on. Oh, it speeds up.
Add an element from your recurring dreams.
Oh, man.
Okay. Yeah. So artists. In addition, not in addition, you're going to add. Well, yeah, that's in addition. Just include elements of those recurring dreams you've been having.
If it were for me, there would be an extra bathroom in my childhood basement.
Wow.
There wasn't a bathroom
Wow.
in my childhood basement, but there would be a bathroom, and then there would be another hallway that like went down, and there was all these other rooms I never knew about.
If it was one of my recurring dreams, it would be spreadsheets, even though in my real life I use spreadsheets very little.
Wow.
Huh. If it were me, it would be Whoopi Goldberg.
Is that true?
That is true.
Oh.
Wow. How about you?
Whoopi Goldberg has been in 3 of my dreams since quarantine.
Whoa. Watching a lot of you?
It's all I watch.
Yeah, right. Ralph, what have you been dreaming about recently?
I remember maybe one dream every 4 months. I almost never remember my dreams, so I don't. A recurring dream is impossible. I don't think I've ever had a recurring dream in my whole life. I almost never remember my dreams. Maybe if I remember 5 dreams in a whole year, that's a lot.
That's because you're living your dreams.
I think it is. I think that's right.
Wow.
You don't have to mess around with the nighttime dreams. You got real dreams going on right now.
I know that is at least partially in jest, but I think you're 100% right.
No, it could be true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I live a very like a at least a very like I don't know, like cartoony. My waking life is very like silly, and so I think my brain's like, we're done.
I like the idea of your
I get
brain
that.
being like, well, we can't top that.
Yeah, I know I'm dreaming, but I just never remember them. I know for sure that I'm dreaming. I wake up
Well-
and I immediately there's nothing there, nothing.
Well, speaking of dreams, can you, Mike? I don't know if you had this question as well, but yeah, I want to hear about Brooklyn Petting Zoo.
Okay, so let me say this: the album that I have out right now, I released it maybe 3 months ago, right at the top of quarantine. It's called Trip, and it's a bunch of original songs I wrote over iconic beats Teddy Riley beats. Teddy Riley produced No Diggity. He produced everything by Blackstreet, Bobby Brown. He produced Remember the Time for Michael Jackson. He's my favorite producer. So I made an album over all of his beats, like a full album of like very personal songs that I love. Brooklyn Petting Zoo is an album that I just conceived of like 4 days ago. So I've just started writing it. I haven't recorded a lick of it yet. So it hopefully will exist. I'm hoping to release it at Christmas, as like, because I released a Christmas album last year that was Everyone Dies from a Bullet, which is a covers album. It's an album full of covers. Everyone Dies from a Bullet. Yeah. So hopefully I'll release another Christmas album this year, and it'll be Brooklyn Petting Zoo, which I'm really excited about. And basically what that album is just like in Trip, I took a bunch of Teddy Riley beats and made original songs to them. So these would be beats that you might know from other songs, and I made original songs to those. These Brooklyn Petting Zoo is a bunch of beats from Brooklyn rappers, songs of Brooklyn rappers, probably famous songs, not all of them, but and I take those beats and I write completely original songs to those beats, and it's it has that name as sort of an ode to ODB Brooklyn Zoo, and Precious Gorgeous version is Brooklyn Petting Zoo, and so yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yes.
So do you use the exact beats or you recreate them? Meaning, like, are you taking
I use the exact beats, Ice Cube style, jacking for beats.
Got it.
Yeah.
Wow,
So hold on, I got more questions. Do you have to set? Is there some software that lets you separate them from other things on the track, or you're able to isolate part of it?
On YouTube, there's probably a million beats. So like any record that was released as a cassette or as a CD or any single that had an instrumental, that it lives on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, so for a lot of songs, especially songs from like 2010 and back, the instrumental lives somewhere on the internet.
Yeah, you don't even really need to jack for beats anymore. You just need to sort of like walk by the curb and pick it up. It's just out there.
It's just laid out there. Some are harder to find. I did another project over the last 5 years. I'm not even done with it yet, but I did another project called I'm always just trying to find ways to trick myself to write raps. I sort of feel like, just like maybe in comedy or in improv, like every time we're running, every time you're not doing it, you sort of get like, oh fuck, I'm losing it. You know what I mean? So I have to trick myself into finding ways to practice and to write. So over the last 5 years, I found Complex Magazine had done this this list of the 100 greatest hip hop beats of all time. So I just spent the last 5 years just writing 16-bar freestyles to each of those beats and putting them on my Instagram in a series I call 16 to 100 real quick, because Drake had 0 to 100 real quick, and so because I'm doing 16 bars, 16 to 100 real quick, so if you look up hashtag 16 to 100, you'll find those real quick.
Yeah, we've got a couple minutes left to talk about this, but I want for you to talk briefly. I know you're sort of done with the project, but it was one of my favorite projects that you ever did. You were in like a tough period in your life. You had just had a friend pass, and you were like, you know what? I'm going to call myself the spear bearer, and I'm going to hop on a bicycle, and I'm going to ride around the United States doing one-man Shakespeare in every city that I go to.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
One of the last gifts that I gave my friend Tommy, who passed away, was a book, The Alchemist. I don't know if he ever even read it, but I read it and it fucking changed my life. And so I was in that.
Same with me.
Yeah. I was in that kind of mode. I was like a young artist in my late 20s, and I was just like ready to conquer New York. And in that I just had such big dreams, and I just loved acting and all that so much, and I was never getting any work. And my friend passed, and we were very much like the same. Like our birthdays were we were the only weeks apart in our birthdays, and we were both just like very like, we're gonna do it, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make the art that we want to make, and all this, and I was very much in a mode at that time too of like, just the way I was living my life, if something scared me, I forced myself to do it right away, like as fast as I could, so that I didn't have time to think myself out of it. So after Tommy passed, I was sort of spent a couple of weeks, like maybe 2 3 months, kind of despondent and not knowing what to do, which is strange for me because I'm very project oriented. I feel like I always have a project going in my life that kind of tethers me to the earth, and I didn't have one. And I remember, so John Leguizamo's Ghetto Clown was out at that time. I'd always wanted to do a long distance bike tour because I went to art school and lots of art kids did that. Lots of anarchist art kids did that. And 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 I just read this book also by a guy named Travis D called No Applause, Just Throw Money. That was the history of vaudeville in America. So I was very obsessed, and I was doing a lot of clown stuff. So I was very obsessed with like vaudeville and having my own act and not having anybody be able to tell me when to perform. And kind of, I was just sitting, I was living in my pastor's basement in Bay Ridge because I was just scared of life. And I was just sitting in the basement one day, and then that whole idea just fell on top of me like rain. It just fell on top of me like all at once. And I was like, I gotta ride my bicycle around the United States and perform Shakespeare on the street. And then immediately I was like, I'm not gonna do that. That's crazy. And then but I had this initiative of like, if I'm afraid of something, I got to do it immediately. And I just thought, well, what would Tommy say if I was like, hey, I'm going to leave everything that I built in New York, the little bit that I've built up, leave my apartment, no job, no money, go do a. I've never left the East Coast of New York. Never been on a long distance bike tour. I don't know how to street perform. I'm gonna memorize like an hour's worth of Shakespeare by myself and play all the characters by myself. And I could be hurt. I could get hit by a truck. I could get lynched by some racists. I could I could get lost. I could just go for a week and decide it's too much and quit. Like everything could go wrong, and I could lose everything that I built here in New York. And I just imagine that Tommy would have said, "When you leaving?" So I went.
That's amazing.
It's well, we gotta say something right now.
Time's up.
I thought it was like you win the awesome award for awesome project.
Really, like honestly, okay. So, folks at home, email to take a picture of your art and make it into a JPEG, like a picture, and send it to us at fartsmackdown@gmail.com. Ralph, I got to say, like watching the one-man show based on that trip that you made was one of my like most quintessential like highlights of living in New York. I was like, man, watching this, I'm like, this is like what real New Yorkers do. I'm like, what was like? I have one question for you before we move on. What was like the most American place or city that you like quintessentially Americana that you went to?
Americana. Oh, give me 30 seconds to try to answer that. America.
We put 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
All right, 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay, I got it. I think I got it. I don't know if I don't know if this answers your question, but I went to a little town called Chico in California, and it was just this. I stayed with this like Indian family, and they had two dogs, and one of them was half wolf, and they were just like the most loving, like open, kind, and sweet people. And the town was just so idyllic, and like life just seemed so easy and sweet and like simple. And I just really remember thinking like, this is the best town I've ever been in my life. And I went to a bunch of great towns, and it was just like that town. Yeah, it was like, I stayed with this like Indian family, like this immigrant family, but they felt that one's very Indian, but also like very American, and it was like and I'll say it was that town. That's the first thing that comes to mind. That was just staying with them for like 3 4 days and performing a bit and just hanging out with them and them being so gentle and generous. It was like, wow, this is the best that America can be. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I can't imagine like something more American than an immigrant family with a half wolf in Chico.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's
That's
still
so
American.
cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, Ralph, it is now time for you to put your judging glasses on. So take those storytelling glasses off and put those judging glasses on.
They're both painful to
Oh,
take
We'll
off.
wait.
I thought
Yeah.
you had a different pair of glasses. All right. So let's start with the best. Let's save the best for first and go straight to the best artist in the world, Gary Denoya. And Gary has emailed us a picture. I'm getting all these notifications now that I got to turn notifications off on my phone. It's so exciting. Mark,
Yes.
can you pull up Gary's beautiful portrait? Oh my God, they're rolling in right now. If you have a picture of your art, send it to us.
Got it.
Well, let's, Gary, walk us through what we're working with here. Mark's going to put it up on, and Ralph, you can see the Twitch stream?
Yep. I got a little lag, so forgive me if I don't quite see it.
Life is Nice just noticed that every single person on this show right now is wearing glasses.
Yeah.
Are they?
Ethan.
You got glasses, prank, dude. I wear.
All right, let's take a look at this. Oh no. All right, so it looks like Gary has returned with the sausage link legs. Gary, yeah, talk to us, would you?
Oh my god, I didn't realize I was on mute. I apologize.
Well, what an embarrassment. All right, you ready to talk now, Dad?
Yes. Okay. I do have a story behind this. So I gave Ralph what he wanted. I gave him ODB, but not the ODB, not your mother's ODB. This is a new age ODB that represents what Williamsburg, Brooklyn is now. And his name is Oliver Donovan Booth. So he is singing his hit song, "Ooh Baby, I Like White Claw." And like you were saying earlier, Micah, that was unintentional. I guess I don't have like good symmetry because I do see once again one leg is way bigger than the other. His bike's parked outside. It's smaller than it should be. And those little like U-shaped things are bike locks, bike racks. But he doesn't need to lock his bike up because he's ODB. He's Oliver Donovan Booth. Nike shoes, eat the rich. Even though like his dad pays his rent. I don't know if you can see that glittery thing in his nose. I use glitter. It is it's not glitter. It's a Coke booger. So yeah. He does that before he goes on stage. Right on top of his head is that classic Brooklyn Steve Zissou hat. And then lastly, for the twist, a weird reoccurring dream I've been having is I am dressed like a matador. And like I have dreams a lot where it's just like people like leave me and I'm alone and people forget about me. So it's him saying it, but like probably like he's got his cape and his matador hat and he's outside the Estadio. But the Estadio is actually a new venue in Brooklyn where ODB is performing at, and he's just saying, "Don't forget me, don't forget me."
Very nice, very nice. Ralph, you got any follow-up questions for Gary here? It's beautifully rendered, Gary.
Thank you. I took a lot of pride in this one. Feels good.
Questions. I just appreciate how well observed this is. Like, I feel like for a while I was the only one who noticed that for a moment everyone was wearing those Steve Zissou hats. There was a moment when that was happening, and I felt like nobody else was talking about it. So I appreciate you showing that.
What is it called? Steve Zissou hat?
Steve Zissou from Life Aquatic. The Wes Anderson film.
Movie maker.
Here's a question I have for you, Gary. What do you admire or like about this guy, or not even admire, but what tickles you or do you enjoy? Like, or do you what part of you loves this guy? Oliver Donovan Booth?
I think the thing about ODB, Oliver Donovan Booth, is that he is overly confident when he has no right to be, and just that self-assuredness that he, everyone is, you can say what you want about him, but he does sell records, and just the confidence, like to not give a shit. I admire that. Everything else I hate about him. He's a terrible person. But I do admire his unwavering confidence, even if it is it doesn't make sense. Because you see that a lot. People that are very confident that you're like, I don't understand how or why. And part of you is jealous for someone being so confident.
Seems like a bit of a hip hop troll.
Oh yeah, he definitely was like the kid in school that always had the albums before everyone else, and made his parents get him all of the clothes and everything like that. He definitely had Paco jeans.
Man, I remember those used to be coveted.
All right, Gary, thanks a bunch. We'll talk
Thank you very
a
much.
little bit. Let's go
Thanks,
now
Gary, if you
to
can wait
April
outside.
5K. Was that?
I was just Gary. If you can wait outside in the waiting room, we'll.
Yeah, could you? Yeah, we'll we need to talk amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
April, come on in, would you?
Paco
I'm
wasn't
here.
even a main gene.
Hello.
Okay. Oh shoot. What's happened?
I sent you mine, but I can show it as well.
Is that what's happening now? Is there people sending them out?
I've got it.
You can probably see it better.
There we go.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
All right, maybe Camber, you're supposed to send it.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. All right.
I'm switching over to.
Oh wow.
I'm very used to making portraits of female artists. That is a big thing that I've always done. So I'm very excited to have been able to do this. What do y'all want to hear about it?
Well, just walk us through your process and tell us why this is the best piece of art in the world.
Well, so you say Brooklyn artists, and immediately I think of MC Light, who I have. This Cappuccino was the song that got me for her. I remember I came home from school, and it was just like a little early for like a total request, whatever the top 10, whatever that was at the time, and this came on, and it was just like this very violent, scary, terrifying song, the story that happens in it. And then I was just hooked on her forever. Like, it comes around at this time, like Queen Latifah is doing a thing, but MC Light, I feel like, gets ignored in that. And I feel like it's because she's got Keep On Keeping On, she's got Party, like she has all these great songs, but this song stuck with me so hard. And then you bring in this whole idea of reoccurring dreams, and so I've been thinking about a perfect pulled pork sandwich, and so I keep having these dreams about them. And then I had this dream the other night where a friend of mine and I, that I haven't seen since high school, we're sitting at a table at a bar, and this guy comes up and starts talking to us. And then it turned into this infographic in my head where it was like, hey man, here's how you dress your pulled pork sandwich and not interrupt these two women having a conversation. And then also Ben Kissel has been showing up in a lot in my dreams, just like hanging out. And it's a weird thing. I think because I've been listening to a lot of Kind of Fun. But tongue in, why does she need a cappuccino? She should have got a pulled pork sandwich. Everything would have ended up differently that night. No.
Beautiful. Oh man, that I just discovering now that Ben Kissel is back. What?
I had to mute her. She was going off pretty heavy there.
I was saying I just noticed that Ben Kissel is in the background. And Ralph, do you know Ben? Oh, you're muted, friend.
Yeah, I think I saw him once, maybe at the Knitting Factory.
Hmm.
Tall, redheaded, white comedian.
Yeah, he's a tall white comedian.
See
He's
in the
one of the white.
background of the MC Light painting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's where I
saw
know
him
him
that
from.
as well.
Yeah.
I figure if any of these portraits deserve a beefy leg, it's Ben Kissel in the back of this one. Not sure.
All that pulled pork.
Yeah, a lot of pulled pork. Well, April, thank you so much. We are now going to go to the indispensable Cambry Cruz, who I'm going to invite to unmute
I am
herself.
unmuted. Yes. All right, you guys ready for the greatest piece of art in the world?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Okay, so my favorite Brooklyn wrapper is the box around a Junior's cheesecake. It is the most excellent cheesecake in New York. It is from Brooklyn, has been around since 1929. The family, now they've got chains, but as you could tell, I'm not hip to the hop to the rap, and so when I first heard about rapping,
say not hip to the hop.
That is correct.
When I first heard about your favorite Brooklyn rapper, my first thought was full cheesecake, obviously, and candy. And well, if it has to be Brooklyn, well then it's got to be cheesecake. Because if it was going to be candy, I would have done Economy Candy with the Lower East Side, another classic joint. Yeah, but Brooklyn cheesecake, Junior's, mwah, très magnifique. And you might be wondering, is that cherry, some oozed out cherry or whatever? No, that's blood from my recurring dreams of mass murder. And now that I'm in the woods, it's actually quite appropriate. Since I was very young, I've had dreams, Friday the 13th type slasher movies, where there's a killer on the loose, and either I'm the sole survivor and I'm on the run and hiding, which is very stressful, or I've killed someone and I've hidden the body under the baseboards and the cops are now onto me. But regardless, blood is involved. Now, I did run out of time. I would have made the blood a little nicer, but yeah.
That's pretty nice blood.
Cool. Yeah.
Which one's your favorite dream to have? The one where you're the sole survivor, or the one where you've murdered somebody and hidden them John Wayne Gacy style?
I would have to say sole survivor. If I had to choose between the two terrible dreams, the sole survivor, because the sole survivor is like, if you're a fan of Friday the 13th, which today is the 13th. No, today's the 14th. Yesterday was the 13th. Was a year anniversary since I went to Camp Crystal Lake on Friday the 13th during a full moon to hang out for the 30th anniversary of Friday the 13th. So clearly, love my slasher movies.
Oh.
So if you're familiar with the genre, there's always a sole survivor, usually a young nubile blonde. I'm not so nubile, and I'm sort of blonde, but yeah. I would clearly, live and kill the guy. And I would do it like Friday the 13th Part 3, where Corey Feldman chops Jason into tiny little bits. I would not do the half-ass Halloween Jamie Lee Curtis, stick him with a hanger in the eye and be like, oh, I killed him, as he stands up behind you and, comes after you. No. I would murder the motherfucker. And so, yeah, that would be my preferred dream. The other one where I've killed someone, that's terrible. It's terrible. Just feeling that guilt and the pressure and the stress that somebody's after you, that they're onto you and you're going to be found out. Oh, I'd never want to live with that feeling ever. Yeah.
I think we have a lot of horror movie fans in the chat. I could be wrong.
Yes.
I think.
So they know the Corey Feldman scene, which I'm talking about. There's some great heavy metal songs that's tied to it. Yeah, there's some really. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I like the one you were talking about, cheesecake.
Oh yeah. So let's go back to the cheesecake. It's the most fabulous cheesecake.
I
I
love
think I did pretty good with the little chef hat and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, artist, we're going to have you, if you'll hold your pieces up to your camera. Ralph, let's talk this one out, buddy. This is a really tough decision. You've been presented with three very different concepts here on your favorite Brooklyn rapper. One is a cheesecake rapper. One is legitimately a great Brooklyn rapper, but Ben Kissel is in the background. And one is
An up
some
and coming
fucking what?
an up and coming rapper, you know.
Yeah. One is a fictional rapper.
Yeah.
With a extraordinarily beefy leg. Now, I should let you know, Ralph, that this is sort of Gary's oeuvre. He's a beefy leg creator. He makes a lot of beefy legs. So, what are you seeing here, Ralph?
Well, first with
I know.
with Cambry's piece, I don't know if Cambry's familiar with is a very that cheesecake is very hip hop because as most it was storied. I don't know if it's true that Sean P Diddy Combs is part owner of Juniors,
Oh.
and
Okay.
that is a rumor that I don't know if it can be verified or not, but I think that rumor came about because on his famed landmark reality show, what was it called, Making the Band, he famously made his hip hop band, the band, walk across the bridge from Manhattan to Brooklyn and back to get him a piece of Junior's cheesecake.
Now,
So,
in his defense, Brooklyn is Juniors is right off the bridge, so
Yeah,
they didn't have
right.
to walk.
It is amazing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I used to live right down the street from there. That was the best year of my life.
oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, Brooklyn
man.
Juniors is definitely Brooklyn, definitely hip hop. So well done there, Cambry. Let's talk through a couple of these other two. What are we seeing here? Let's compare and contrast.
I like about the MC Light drawing is it also feels like I'm looking at, it could be like just just like one of those Black history paintings of like great Black people in history, or it could be like just an American history piece. Like that could easily be like a judge, like what's the judge that everybody loves now?
Judy.
The older Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
RBG.
Oh
Yeah.
I was thinking Wapner.
We got RBG, we got Wop Wop, we got MC Light.
I totally know
We
what you're
got
talking
everybody.
about. It looks like both those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I
like
heard
that.
I heard that he goes by Judge Wet Ass Pussy Ner now.
Judge Wop. Judge Wop. And some wet ass justice. And then this ode to the ODB, this new generation ODB, who it's just growing with the borough of Brooklyn. Brooklyn is going through changes, and this guy represents those changes, and it's amazing. It recalls to me because I think ODB's actual children, I think a lot of them live in Brooklyn, and they may not share a story that different from Oliver Donovan Booth. And I also think those are great choices of names. I wouldn't be surprised if there actually is somebody named Oliver Donovan Booth living in Williamsburg now. And if they weren't a rapper, I would eat my hat. I'm pretty sure they probably are a rapper. At least the producer.
I love that expression. I would eat my hat.
Yeah. I think it's the first time I've said it, but I think I've been waiting my whole life to say it.
You know what expression I heard for the first time recently is "kick rocks."
Really? Oh,
yeah,
man.
If you don't like me, you can go kick rocks.
Damn. Yeah, that's a good one.
Ralph, what are we thinking here, buddy?
All right. Well, just to give you a little sense of what the chat's feeling. The chat is giving 4 votes to April 5000, 1 vote to Cambry, and 1 vote to Gary. That's where they're at right now.
Damn.
Keep in mind, Ralph, everybody in the chat knows April because April was born in the chat.
Yeah, she was conjured from the chat.
But don't let that
Yeah.
don't let that sway you.
I'm the
Doesn't make it any less legitimate.
The chat's champion. Like The Rock.
The people's champion is April 5K.
The chat looks at April 5K and says, "This could be me."
What is the order that I go? Do I just say who my? Do I go through and give everybody their points, or do I say?
You can say who the winner is, and then you don't have to say anything else. Or you can break down the scoring if you want to. You can give us third place.
Let me see if I can go. If that scoring. Oh shit! It's gone. Let me see if I can even.
The chat.
It's fine. Yeah, you also go by your gut. You know, art's subjective.
I like the scoring. Let me see if I can open it up real fast. Okay, I'm here.
Were you scoring the whole time, or are you gonna make a spreadsheet right now? What are we doing?
I'm gonna do an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm also gonna use a lifeline, and somehow Regis Philbin is gonna be involved in this.
Ralph, we'll let you use a lifeline.
Okay, creativity. What's that?
I was going to say, we'll let you use one lifeline, and you can ask anybody in the chat who you think the winner is and why.
Okay, I would like somebody in the chat to tell me one person, and I'll trust you, Micah, to pick them. Of one person, just say who they want me to vote for and why, and say it, and it should rhyme. There you go.
It's got to rhyme.
It's got to rhyme.
We'd like to know if it's April 5K and why and what time of day. We want to know if it's Cambry Cruz because she's the winner that can't lose. And we want to know if it's Gary DeNoia because he's a Roya Boya Goya.
Yeah.
All right.
Fire. This is very Haitian right here.
All right. So yeah, I learned this in Brazil.
Oh shit! I guess it's all the same. I feel like my girlfriend is Russian, and when I eat some of the food, I'm like, oh, this is just like Haitian food. I feel like all that home style food, a lot of it's just the same. A lot of those cultures are very close.
It's mostly mushed root vegetables and spice.
I like my root.
Yeah, and then chicken.
So, are we waiting on someone from the chat to answer?
Yeah. I've really forgotten what's happening. I can
go with your gut, Ralph.
This
is your show.
I love the rendering of the cheesecake box. It's very dimensional. I feel like I could reach out and touch it. I love the kind of Ruth Bader Ginsburg-esque view into history of the MC Light piece, and I was really like, at first I was like, what is this rapper? And then when I realized it was the ODB, like it was a brand new ODB, I was like, wow, what a way to fulfill the challenge. I was like, this isn't, whoa. So that really caught me by surprise. But I gotta say, because I'm right now writing Brooklyn Pettington, I'm in the middle of writing it, and I'm like in this mode of really appreciating Brooklyn rappers, and just had to go through a bunch of MC Light drawings and like really thinking about the same thing, that she's under appreciated. I gotta go with the MC Light. I gotta go with April 5K.
All right.
April 5K takes it.
Wow.
Yes. Yes.
Best artist in the world.
Okay.
Best artist in the world,
Wow,
April 5K.
How does it feel?
Boom. Narrowly just nailed it.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank
Woo!
Well, Ralph, your work
The
is not
people's
done.
champion.
We have got April 5K, the people's champion. We have got to crown an audience champion.
Cooking.
We gotta.
I don't know what she said, but I like it.
She
Something
said
about cooking.
she wants everybody to
Man.
know what to smell what she's cooking right now.
Oh,
She just
Oh,
she
man.
just dropped the
Everybody
people's
was-
elbow on this whole art challenge.
Everybody was cooking tonight. It was a hard choice. Everybody
It
was
was.
cooking.
All right, so we're going to take a look at the submissions from
Yep.
the audience, and Ralph will quickly decide a audience champion. And now this one, just go with your gut, man. Like when you see it, you know. It's like you're picking out a coat. You know what I mean?
Okay. All
When
right.
you see that coat, you're like, oh, that's my coat.
Yeah.
everyone knows that coat feeling.
You know.
Everybody knows that thrift shopping for a coat.
It's
So
like I'm on a butt.
Every day I'm just chasing that coat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Coat
This
de
is
voir.
Life is Nice.
Oh, hold on. I gotta go look. I gotta go to the Twitch. Okay. This is the Twitch. Shit.
Very
Shit.
nice. Life is very nice.
I gotta reload. Okay. How many have we seen so far? This is my first one I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That's the first one up there. So that is Life is Nice.
LP.
LP. Nice. Yeah, that's a nice LP right there.
Mm-hmm.
This one coming up is from Bad Example.
They're all gonna be LP.
Sorry, these are all pretty big.
Ralph, I'm not familiar with LP.
LP, I think he's most well known now for being the producer and duo and a partner of Killer Mike in Run the Jewels.
Oh, for sure.
Jake.
But I think he also helped found or was like one of the flagship members of Raucous Records with his group company Flow.
Oh, right on. Oh, snap. Look at that.
Great, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Classic.
That's Bad
Got
Example.
No Pants Jay Z.
that is No Pants Jay-Z.
That's the portrait people have been asking for. America demands it.
Yeah.
This is Schwartz and Merck,
All right.
aka the pharmacist.
Whoa. What the fuck?
Also
Let's see.
LP.
Schwartz and Merck. Schwartz and Merck asked if Lil Kim counts.
Oh, of
So that's Lil
course.
Kim.
Of course Lil Kim counts. Counts for a lot.
This
He's got a
is-
dinosaur?
That's a great portrait right there. I love that.
Move the
He's got
dino.
a
down.
This
fucking pet dinosaur? That's a wet ass dinosaur.
that is Silent Squee. With that's also Lil Kim featuring Freddy Krueger.
I just
Wow.
forgot to compromise your art. That's what all these things are. And No Pants is his recurring dream. I just thought he was like, fuck it, Jay-Z doesn't get pants.
And last but not least, this is Aubrey, aka Cookie Surprise.
Wait, Schwartz and Merck, you're afraid of dinosaurs or chained up dinosaurs?
You
I
got
don't think
to.
that's fear. I think that's
right.
just finding a soulmate. That's like White Fang.
So this one comes with a little bit of a description. The one on the one in the center, the one I'm moving around right now.
Dom DeLuise, the famous Brooklyn rapper.
So she said she froze with indecision, so took inspiration from the Precious Gorgeous and his kaleidoscope mind. One of the recurring dreams that haunted my childhood was one where I was being chased by Richard Simmons, who had made himself invisible except for his shoes. It always ended with me being behind a door while he tried to break it down.
Oh. But who's the guy? Who's the rapper?
Precious Gorgeous.
Nice. Very
That's
nice.
a smart move.
Yeah,
That is a very
Smart
smart
move.
Yeah. Like it.
Smart move, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. All right, we're gonna give each of the artists on the stream an opportunity to sway your opinion, Ralph. So
Please.
we're gonna start with April 5K here. What do you see here, April?
I don't want to be too biased, but I do. I I'm torn between the two Lil Kim pieces. I really like the dinosaur situation, but then I also like that Silent Squee was like recurring dreams, Freddy Krueger. So I very firmly am a 50-50 in between those two, and you can come back to me if I have to split that difference, but just to put that out there, because I almost did Little Kim, but I went with MC Light because I
Okay.
felt like she needed the representation.
Okay, right on. Cambry.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. The no pants cracked me up. I think that is really funny. Just whenever we made the connection, like, oh, these are the recurring dream things. Yeah. So Jay-Z, no pants.
My name is Jay-Z, no pants.
I will
Jane
say this
Oakley.
too. Like, there's a couple of these that I immediately was like, I know exactly who that is.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay-Z was one of them, and Little Kim was both the Little Kims were right away.
Immediately, I was like, "That's a T-Rex, dude."
Gary, how about you next week on Smash?
I'm sorry, what's that?
I said, Gary, how about you next week on Smash?
First off, all these are great. Secondly, why are there no beefy legs? I'm a little bit disappointed with that. More beef, but honestly, like I
No
grew up loving hip hop, so definitely the two Little Kims. But what I really like about the Freddy Krueger one is like I feel like this is something she would wear to like the MTV VMAs, like back in like '97 or '98 or something like that. Or just like, and like to imagine like what the rest of her outfit would be like the striped sweater, but like a V. Like I just think it's so badass. So while all of them are great, I feel like this one just speaks to me the most. And like it incorporated the dream element, which I think is bonus points for that.
Yeah, and I will say this, Gary. I mean, it's tough because you've got Richard Simmons featured prominently in one of these, but with no legs. And as we all know, Richard Simmons had the beefiest of legs.
He did.
He was known for his beef mass legs. So that's a tough one for you. I know. So, Ralph, talk us through it. What are you thinking here, dude?
Tough decision, man.
This is tough.
I just want to say, I feel like the LP in blue, I feel like LP himself would really approve of that image of him. It's really rad. He sort of looks like he's in sort of like a Mac Miller phase, like he's really chilled out and sort of like easygoing in a way that he normally isn't. I think he'd appreciate that from what I know of him. The Jay-Z image reminds me a lot of the Life of OJ, whatever the story of OJ song. It reminds me of the animation in that video. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate Tyrannosaurus, Lil Kim, especially with the hair over the boob, tasteful and yet risque. I appreciate hockey claw glove, Freddy Krueger glove, Lil Kim. Also, those colors are really amazing, great colors. Yeah. And of course, I'm really happy about this drawing of myself. I could probably use that for an album cover. That is very delightful. Shit.
Ralph, I'll say this too: the one who drew LP in the past, he was a little shy about coming on the show. Overcome his fear of being on camera on the stream, and is totally willing to come on next week. So any of these are fair game at this point.
Yeah, I really, Man, I like that one a lot. That one has a nice. It's really pleasing to the eye. That blue is really nice. Uh, Listen, I'm just going purely selfish on this one. I want to, in keeping with the theme from the last piece, I'm going with Raptor Tyrannosaurus Lil Kim. I just think
Very nice.
Wow.
struck me. It's just bad. It was just badass from the moment I saw it. I really very badly wanted to choose myself, but in keeping with Brooklyn Petting Zoo and wanting to honor Brooklyn, and in keeping with the moment that we're living in, of wanting to honor women who are underappreciated in hip hop, I gotta give it to Kim. I gotta give it to Kim, and I gotta give it to Raptor Kim because there's something about it.
Beautiful.
Schwartz and
We're
Merck.
excited to have you back on the stream. Oh, and are we rating Schwartz and Merck's channel after this, or
Oh, yeah. Schwartz and Merck, what's up? What's up with that?
yeah, do we get to watch a champion in action? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Schwartz and Merck, are you going live?
Oh yeah. So, Ralph, you just selected the artist whose channel we raid after this, and he's gonna be doing a little art for folks right after this. So please stick around and watch Casey, the pharmacist, deliver on his. He does really awesome drawings. Look at it go. Are you watching this, Ralph?
Yeah, it's cool.
So cool, right?
Yeah, it's got attitude.
Yeah.
It's got those things I was saying before. It's like it feels like Lil Kim's attitude, and it has this like tongue in cheek sense of humor because it really does seem like if Lil Kim could go to an award show with a Raptor, that she would.
There's something.
Oh, 100%.
There's something super sexy about having a raptor on a chain. I don't care who's. It could be. Those two fat twins on motorcycles. You know what I'm talking about? The ones from the Guinness Book of World Records. But
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what. If they had a raptor on a chain, I'd be like, who are they?
Who are you?
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
Ralph, thank you so much for being on the stream tonight, man. And if people want to check out your music, where can they have a listen?
Right here in my screen is my website, Precious Gorgeous Ralph, RALF. I'm an F, not a PH. PreciousGorgeousRalph.com. You can check out all the records that I have out right now, plus a little bit of my comedy stuff and all that. I A&R and like one of my albums is all self-produced. The other ones I curate and A&R everything, and I'm really excited about the music I'm making right now. Everyone Dies from a Bullet is a good record too because it's all covers. It's all really interesting cover songs, probably songs done in with a really interesting twist. So I'd recommend that. PreciousGorgeousRalph.com. Please check it out. All my stuff is there. Oh, also follow me and you can follow at Stoner Morning Show. I do a show called Stoner Morning Show every Saturday morning with my buddy
LaShawn Wickens.
and Jason Cunias and Lex Morales. We do Stoner Morning Show every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And
where is that on Twitch?
I'm not sure if it's. I think it used to be.
I think
on
it
Twitch.
is.
And we'll also do a telethon soon, probably in November. We do a 24-hour telethon to support. Last one we did support Black Lives Matter. We'll probably still do that. We do a 24-hour telethon like quarterly, so look out for that. But follow Stoner Morning Show, follow Precious Gorgeous, and that's it. That's where people can find my stuff.
Well, thanks again
Hell
for being
yeah.
on the show, man. Cambry, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry it didn't work out, but that was a incredible drawing.
Thank
Really?
you. Yeah,
That was
it's
a
gonna
hard
be my
choice.
Christmas card, I think.
Oh, that's so
And,
cool.
Where can people learn about the QED Astoria and what's going on with that now?
Yeah, QEDAstoria.com. It's very easy, and we're at QED Astoria on all the social media and stuff. We're closed until the governor decides to make it otherwise, I guess. Live entertainment ticketed. So you can have a non-ticketed event in the park, and we can't do it at a licensed venue. So it's a little illogical, and I'm a little mad about it. So I'm rallying the troops and doing all that stuff. So, but yeah.
Well, I hope they send you a bunch of money, all the money that you're losing right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I hope so too. This is a nightmare. Yeah.
This is a nightmare, but this was not a nightmare. Thank you so much.
No, this was a nice reprieve from my nightmares of bloody murders.
Well, thank you so much, and hope to
Thank
see
you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thanks.
Gary, hey man, what a run! What a run! I mean, we've
Flew
had,
too close to the sun, dude.
yeah, got it.
It felt real. Listen, it was 1 week, but it was a really good week. I didn't betray who I was art-wise, so that's all you can ask for. Everyone did a great job, and I think the beefy legs will live on Art Smackdown. So I am leaving behind a legacy.
I hope that you work your way back through the audience. We'll definitely know it's a piece from Gary Denoyer if it's got those tri, quad, and quintuple beef circles on the legs.
Oh, I will be. Yeah, I can't wait to watch April Defender title next week. It'll be fun.
Totally. April, excited to have you back next week. Best artist in the world. How does it feel?
Feels great. I'm gonna tell you, Silent Squee, life's nice. You're coming for me. You're coming for the chat's champion.
Oh.
Look
Wow.
out.
Aggro. I like
You're
it.
a monster.
Well, April.
I love this. This is especially with like I can't go and hang out with my friends, but I get this. So this is fantastic, and so I'm really glad y'all started doing this. It's been so much fun to be able to participate in this.
We appreciate you, and we appreciate all of y'all in the chat. So, on behalf of everybody you've seen tonight, and Mark Stetson and Ethan T. Berlin, who has an announcement.
Tomorrow night at Old Man in the Basement, Ethan's television workshop, Micah, will be a guest. And my dad, Bert, is coming on to talk about a show idea he has. And I think I'm going to be interviewing people's dogs for a show idea I have. So come around 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to do it.
It's really a fun show. Ethan's television workshop. People just come on and they pitch television shows, and it is wonderful. I've got a great idea for a television show. I hope you tune in tomorrow night at Old Man in the Basement.
Come on.
In the meantime,
If you ever have a show idea you want to pitch, come on. It'll be fun. Ish.
Mark and I will be back right here on Art Smackdown this
Thursday night.
talking with our audience champion this week, Casey Gibbs, as well as last week's celebrity judge Chris Duffy, to talk game shows and pharmaceuticals and all your favorite topics. So yeah, we'll be here at 10 o'clock at Art Smackdown, and then we'll be back next week with a brand new episode of the greatest game show in the entire world, Art Smackdown. We make art the competition it should be. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.